between Jacob and Esau, who was Isaac's blessing for. In our Christian world, many people say, Jacob stole Esau's blessings, yet it worked for him. But is that what really happened? Did Jacob truly steal Esau's blessings? To understand this, let us explore the genesis of Jacob and Esau.
Rebekah conceives Esau and Jacob.
Genesis 25 to 21:23. 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. 22. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, If it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. 23. And the Lord said unto her, To nations are in thy womb, and to manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger.
In verse 23, the Lord gives a prophecy about the younger child, granting him the grace to rule over the elder, which is highly unusual. Traditionally, the firstborn assumes leadership when the father is absent. However, in this case, the younger child was destined to rule. Take note, the prophecy was given to Rebekah. There is no biblical record indicating that she shared this revelation with Isaac.
The birth of Esau and Jacob.
24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. 25. And the first came out red, all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. 26. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them.
In verse 26, Jacob is described as holding Esau's heel at birth, spiritually and physically. This act is significant. One cannot walk freely if their heel is being held. It becomes an obstacle. Esau's heel being held signifies Jacob as an obstacle to Esau's progress. On the other hand, Jacob, unimpeded, symbolizes unhindered growth and advancement.
Isaac and Rebekah's love for their sons.
Genesis 25 to 28. 28. And Isaac loved Esau, because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob.
This verse highlights the distinct favoritism each parent had for their sons. Isaac favored Esau because of his skill in providing venison, while Rebekah favored Jacob. This parental favoritism plays a pivotal role in their sons' futures.
Esau sells his birthright to Jacob.
Genesis 25 minutes and 29 seconds 34. 29. And Jacob sod pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. 30. And Esau said to Jacob, Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. 31. And Jacob said, Sell me this day thy birthright. 32. And Esau said, Behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? 33. And Jacob said, Swear to me this day. And he sware unto him, and he sold his birthright unto a Jacob. 34. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up, and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright.
Here are the key takeaways from Genesis 25 minutes and 29 seconds to 34. In verse 32, Esau dismisses the value of his birthright. What profit shall this birthright do to me? In verse 33, Esau swears an oath and sells his birthright to Jacob for food. In verse 34, Esau despises his birthright after the transaction. By swearing an oath, Esau legally and spiritually relinquishes his birthright to Jacob. From this moment, Esau no longer holds any claim to the privileges of the firstborn. Isaac decides to bless Esau.
Genesis 27 to 124. 1. And it came to pass, that when Isaac was old, and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see. He called Esau his eldest son, and said unto him, My son. And he said unto him, Behold, here am I. 2. And he said, Behold now, I am old. I know not the day of my death. 3. Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver and thy bow, and go out to the field, and take me some venison. 4. And make me savoury meat, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die.
In these verses, Isaac expresses his desire to bless Esau, his firstborn, before his death. However, let us not forget the earlier transaction in Genesis 25, where Esau sold his birthright to Jacob. As such, the blessings meant for the firstborn now belong to Jacob by right.
Rebekah intercepts the blessing for Jacob.
Genesis 27 to 5:17. 5. And Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son. And Esau went to the field to hunt for venison, and to bring it. 6. And Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, Behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, 7. Bring me venison, and make me savoury meat, that I may eat, and bless thee before the Lord, before my death. 8. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice, according to that which I command thee. 9. Go now to the flock, and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make them savoury meat for thy father, such as he loveth. 10. And thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. Rebekah's actions align with the prophecy she received in Genesis 25 to 23, which foretold that the elder son would serve the younger, driven by her love for Jacob and her belief in the prophecy. Rebekah devises a plan to ensure Jacob receives the blessing. 11. And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, Behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. 12. My father peradventure will feel me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me, and not a blessing. 13. And his mother has said unto him, Upon me be thy curse, my son, only obey my voice, and go fetch me them. 14. And he went, and fetched, and brought them to his mother, and his mother made savoury meat, such as his father loved. 15. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob her younger son. 16. And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands, and upon the smooth of his neck. 17. And she gave the savoury meat and the bread, which she had prepared, into the hand of her son Jacob.
Rebekah demonstrates her determination by going to great lengths to ensure Jacob receives Isaac's blessings. Note how she reassures Jacob, saying, any curse resulting from the deception would fall upon her.
Jacob deceives Isaac.
Genesis 27 to 19:25. 19. And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau thy firstborn. I have done according as thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me. 20. And Isaac said unto his son, How is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, Because the Lord thy God brought it to me. 21. And Isaac said unto Jacob, Come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. 22. And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him, and said, The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. 23. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy, as his brother Esau's hands, so he blessed him. 24. And he said, Art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. 5. And he said, Bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat. And he brought him wine, and he drank.
Here, some argue that Jacob deceived his father. Isaac, however, recalled that Esau had already sold his birthright to Jacob. The blessings Isaac intended for Esau as the firstborn were already Jacob's by right. Jacob merely used a strategic approach to claim what was his.
Isaac blesses Jacob.
Genesis 27 to 26:29. 26 And his father Isaac said unto him, Come near, now, and kiss me, my son. 27 And he came near, and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his raiment, and blessed him, and said, See, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which the Lord hath blessed. 28 Therefore God give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn, and wine. 29 Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be every one that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee.
This blessing mirrors the prophecy Rebekah received in Genesis 25 to 23, affirming that Jacob would rule over Esau. The fulfillment of this prophecy was not due to Jacob stealing Esau's blessing, but was a manifestation of what was already ordained by God. Guys, the story of Jacob and Esau is such an eye-opener about how God's plan always prevails. The prophecy given to Rebekah in Genesis 25 to 23 could get clear. Jacob, the younger son, was chosen to lead and receive the blessings. This wasn't just a random twist of fate, it was God's will in action. Esau's decision to sell his birthright for a simple meal was a turning point. By doing so, he gave up what was spiritually and legally his, paving the way for Jacob to receive the blessing. So when Jacob, with Rebekah's help, secured Isaac's blessing, it wasn't about stealing, it was about fulfilling what God had already planned. This story reminds us to value what truly matters and trust in God's timing and purpose for our lives.